Yeah. So how this is single carrier look like in frequency domain means it will have a constant power level over the entire bandwidth. Whatever the bandwidth we are using, 1.45 megahertz, 10 megahertz, or something else. So uh, why we are using single carrier in SCFDMA in uplink? Because OFDMA there are multiple subcarriers. They may be having a different power levels. It will utilize maximum power. So at UE side, we have to reduce the power consumption at UE side. So that's why we use constant power level, and we are transmitting data serially. After this transmission, there may be some gap. Whatever we transmit the subcarriers, number of subcarriers, after we provide a huge gap. So it will look like a single carrier only if you take any bandwidth. There may be a multiple carriers in SCFDMA also, but overall you will see a single carrier at once. So you can write it down one definite the difference between so at OFDMA side, uh, in OFDMA there is a high power variation in each sub carrier. So to read to avoid the high power consumption at UE side, let me write here. So this point is for valid for OFDMA, and in case of SCFDMA, if they ask in the interview, you can tell the same point why we are using in OFDMA. There is high power variations in each.
Jadvi in SCFDMA.
Yeah, correct. No, I'm writing definitions for the difference between OFDMA and SCFDMA here. You can tell in SCFDMA. In OFDMA, there is a high power variations in each subcarrier.
Hmm.
So we cannot predict the power consumption at UE side by at UE side. So by using one more thing we can add, like in OFDMA, there is a high power variation in each subcarrier. So we cannot predict the power consumption at UE side with multiple multiple subcarriers, because each subcarrier is having some different power levels. So we use single carrier FDMA technique technique. So we use SCFDMA technique in uplink to predict the exact power consumption at UE side. So if you have a single carrier, so you can know the power level, what is the power level it is transmitting, right? So you can modify the power level, and you can optimize power level at UE side. If there are hundreds, thousands of subcarriers at UE side, it will consume lot of power and battery will drain soon. Okay, noted down.
Yeah.
So in OFDMA, the frequency domain representation will look like, as I showed you previously also, it will look like this. After some distance, it will be like this. So, but in case of SCFDMA, a constant power level you can see over the entire bandwidth. So it has a different power levels in OFDMA for each subcarriers. E-node B, because E-node B does not have any restriction, it has a lot of power, battery is available, generator is available, it can transmit with higher power levels for each carrier. Okay, so let's come to this. Just a second. Yeah, that's it for OFDMA and SCFDMA. There is nothing more. Uh, so what is our next LTE feature? I have discussed you what was not there in 2G and 3G. Like it has LTE has a variable bandwidth, UE bandwidth, as well as OFDMA, SCFDMA we have discussed, right? If you go to the previous notes, at radio interface we have different features of LTE, like multiple bandwidth. It is having UE bandwidth, OFDMA, SCFDMA we have discussed. Now we will discuss MIMO and modulation schemes. MIMO. Suppose what is MIMO? Multiple input, multiple output. It was used in previous technologies as well, but with limitation. I will explain you. This is our E-node B. So this E-node B may be having nowadays 4 antennas. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4-port antenna, or 2-port. Previously it was 2-port, 2x2 antennas. There may be many ports also. 6 ports, 8 ports. For 32 ports, 8x8 ports also for 32 ports massive MIMO. So how this E-node B will transmit data, we will see here. And UE also is having 2 ports, 2 receiving ports. Among them, one will be a transmit port, transmit and receive. UE will have 2 ports, which among them, one of them will have one TX port and receiver port. Simply, it is having TX and RX functionality, one port, and one is for only receiving at UE side. But at E-node B side, it has a 4 TX, 4 4 RX port. It can receive with 4 ports and it can transmit with 4 ports. So we will see the transmit diversity, how eNodeB uses transmit diversity. There are different MIMO configuration like transmit diversity, uh, receive diversity, and MIMO 4x for spatial multiplexing, beam forming. There are many concepts. So we will look into this 2-3 concepts here. First, to discuss about transmit diversity. In transmit diversity,
Sir, port means what? In which jumper cable feed?
at site you will see that one antenna will be connected, right? Feeder cable will go to the top of the antenna and it will be connected.
But nowadays the feeder cable is uh, not available. Power cable is available.
Yeah, power cable are from eNodeB on one optical cable will go to RRH, right? From
RRH, yes.
RRH we have 4 ports. RRH will be connected to RRH 4 antenna. 4 cables will be connected to antenna. You see, whenever you go to any site or somewhere else, I will show you the internal those things in practical classes. So suppose this is you not be having 4 ports, 4 antenna. It is transmitting and receiving. So in transmit diversity, what happens? It transmits the same data with 2 antenna. This UE will receive, and this receiver RX1, RX2 at UE side, it will receive the same data. Suppose it is transmitted, this data is hello. So from the second antenna also, eNodeB will transmit hello. So this is an just example. So in case of transmit diversity, we are transmitting same data with 2 antenna ports, and you will receive the same information with 2 antenna ports. This is TX diversity. Initially, it was used because if there is a chance of in the environment, in the live environment, there may be a chance of fading or interference. So one data, if it is lost, the other data can be recovered with other antenna. So in general, in short, TX diversity increases strength of the signal. So whatever the higher signal is there, you is able to decode that one because it is having same information. No need to look for other transmitted signal. So in TX diversity, it increases the strength of the signal. Let's come to the receive diversity. Suppose this is our UE. This is our eNodeB. It is having 4 antennas. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in TX receive diversity, what happens if it is configured at eNodeB side receive diversity? UE has always 2 antennas to receive. In case of normally also UE will have 2 antennas to receive. In any case, UE will always have 2 antennas to receive, but eNodeB will transmit with single antenna in receive diversity. So this whatever the data is transmitted, UE will judge with its receiver whether this information is received by this antenna or whether this information, single information received by this antenna. It will enhance, it will receive with 2 antennas in receive diversity, transmitted with single antenna at eNodeB side and received by 2 antennas. at UE side. This is a suppose data hello or something else 010. So this UE receives with two antenna the single transmitted data. In case of receive diversity, RX diversity. So in this case, RX diversity, UE will receive both the signal and it enhance it. How it will enhance it? It has some algorithm internally. A mechanism is designed to optimize the signal strength at UE side. So like rake receiver concept in 3G or 2G was there, CDMA technology. So what rake receiver does, it will receive the signals at UE side, and whatever the best signal it will choose. So like that, it will receive both signals here in RX diversity, but internal mechanism is there at UE side, which will predict the exact signal, which is the best signal. Noted down.
Yes, noted.
Okay. So I think we are running out of time. Let's wait for 5 minutes. Not wait. I will take 5 minutes class. I will explain you the other MIMO, two MIMO technologies. Let me save it. Quickly, we will cover that also. So this is our UE. There are generally 4 types of MIMO technologies only we are using. We are not using 8x8, 32x32. Those are in testing only right now. So this is a eNode B. It has a 4 antenna. This also UE has a 2 antenna. In case of MIMO, multiple input, multiple output. So UE will transfer. Suppose this is a 2x2 MIMO. UE will transmit. eNode B will transmit with one antenna. UE will receive with one antenna, and this eNode B will transmit with one antenna, and UE will receive with other antenna. So the information, the type of information will change. Suppose if eNode B is transmitting hello with this one antenna, so other antenna eNode B will transmit some other message like hi. So information will be transferred, different information will be transferred in case of 2x2 MIMO. If you are using, UE will receive with two antennas, this both information. What we can say, I will write it down. This is a 2x2 MIMO. So make a note of this here. In 2x2 MIMO, or in general in MIMO, we say, because others are transmit diversity and receive diversity, those are not MIMO. In MIMO, we are transmitting different streams of data in same RB. You not be utilizing the same RB or same subcarriers, but it is transmitting different data, different information in same RB, or we can say same frequency. In MIMO, we are transmitting different streams of data in same RB or same frequency. And one more point, MIMO increases the speed of the data throughput. So obviously, if different streams are transmitted with the same frequency or same subcarrier simultaneously, the speed of the data will be increased, right? So make a note of this. We have another type of MIMO. This is 2x2 MIMO, and let's see about 4x4 MIMO. This is our eNode B. So this information will be different, not hello, hi. I'm telling in English format. It will be in zeros and ones in analog signal. So this is U is having 2 receiver, and eNode B is this is 4x4 MIMO. So eNode B will transmit with all the 4 TX with different information. In this case, UE will have 4 ports. UE should support 4 layers. This will detect here, this will detect here, this will receive here. So if eNode B is transmitting 4 layer information, 4 TX, then UE should be also capable of receiving 4 layers. UE should have 4 antennas. Older UEs was not having 4 antennas like J2 or S5, S8, those things. But S10 will have 4 antennas at UE side, 4 receiving antennas. Note 10, Note 8, those devices has 4 antennas at UE. So they can give you high throughput because they have 4 antennas. They can receive different data streams with the same frequency. So another name for MIMO is whether 2x2 or 4x4. Name for MIMO is spatial multiplexing. Spatial multiplexing. These are spatially multiplexed. This is a technology actually which is having some gap between the TX, one TX to other TX. It should not be closely spaced, these TX, because if they are closely spaced, they will interfere. Transmitted signal will interfere with each other. So the RF designers, they will design the antenna, how an antenna should transmit. There are a lot of parameters, components involved in it, antenna designing. So you now came to know that how MIMO is helping in data throughput, in increase of data throughput. So better the UE capability, you will have a better speed. So how the throughput will be calculated in LTE, we will discuss into the next class. How much maximum we can get with 20 megahertz. Any questions?
Hello.
Yes.
Javed bhai, another name for MIMO is special multiplexing is for only 4x4 MIMO, na?
No. It is for 2x2 MIMO, 4x4 MIMO, both.
Okay, means okay both.
So 8x8 MIMO has a different name. We call it as a beam forming, dual layer beam forming. 8-layer beam forming,
Okay.
8x8 MIMO, 8-layer beam forming we call. 32x32, it is a
Actually,
different
in
name.
LT we are generally use.
What?
Okay. Mm, in LT we are generally using open loop multiplexing, closed loop special multiplexing. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
So
this
these open loop or closed loop multiplexing is the same thing or some different thing?
open loop, closed loop, those are techniques in MIMO. So combinedly,
Okay.
that is called as spatial multiplexing. Whether it is open loop or closed loop, combinedly those are called as spatially
Okay.
multiplexing. So we will discuss what is open loop, closed loop, multi-user MIMO, single user MIMO in next classes. There are many things
Okay.
later. So open loop, whatever we are using in the field, that is nothing but a spatial multiplexing. TM3 or TM4 you used closed loop TM4.
Right.
So overall we call it a
Okay.
spatial
Fine.
multiplexing.
Okay, Jabbar bhai.
Okay, that's it for today. I'm ending up this meeting.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.